is Valley News Live at 10.
Tonight, North Dakota Highway Patrol has identified the officer who shot a man yesterday after what both police and witnesses say was a citywide rampage.
The trooper is Miles Ronomus. He's been with NDHP since January 2020. He's currently on administrative leave while the North Dakota BCI investigates. We've also learned the motorcyclist who was hit by a pickup driven by 28-year-old Michael Yusa during the alleged crime spree is expected to be okay.
34-year-old Eric O'Meara from Horace is recovering at the hospital tonight. Troopers told O'Meara's girlfriend about how they say Yusa weaved his pickup through rush hour traffic, speeds topping 100 miles per hour, hitting O'Meara's motorcycle in the process. Despite not wearing a helmet, his family says O'Meara only suffered, I say only a few broken ribs, road rash, and what doctors are calling a severe concussion.
Eric didn't deserve this, so that's why I think his injuries are so minimal, and he's so incredibly lucky.
Brule there says O'Meara is expected to be taken off a ventilator by tomorrow. He could get out of the hospital as early as the end of this week.
Meanwhile, new tonight, we are getting a look inside those emergency drills that have been being held this week, training local law enforcement on what to do in the event of an active shooter.
The events took place all over town, from Fargo City Hall today to Horizon Middle School in Moorhead, and they're designed to give participants confidence in their actions and increase trust from the community. Valley News Team's Alex Larson has the story.
Hopefully they can save more lives and not lose lives.
Fargo and Moorhead both put their emergency plans to the test this week to see how prepared they are.
They learned a lot by actually putting their training into practice. I think they really felt a sense of confidence that they were able to try that out and know that they can do something. They have options when there's a situation like that.
Over 200 people from several different departments were involved in these trainings.
Our dispatch center was included, the fire department, our Cass County emergency prep, so all these people acting together. Tabletop exercises are great, but so many of our people learn by hands-on experience and actually putting all of those things into action.
And say they wanted to make it as realistic as possible, even hiring actors to play parts.
It takes a lot of collaboration on both sides to make this happen and get our crews in there to search and rescue and pull victims out. And the more opportunities we get to train like this, the better we're going to get.
They say there are certain things you cannot learn by just reading a plan.
During these stressful events, your body is going to do things. Your mind is going to play some tricks on you. The sounds you hear, the sights and smells, all of those things are going to come out. But the employees inside knew that something was coming. They just didn't know exactly when or how it was going to unfold.
Responding departments say this training is invaluable for everyone involved. And folks in the community are happy to see the work they're doing.
I think it's great to get people aware. I think it's great to have different scenarios or different things because we just don't know what's going to happen or when, and for people to know what their roles are when that happens.
Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
And the Fargo Emergency Management Team says they hope to continue the exercises for all city buildings.
All right, time now to take a look outside at the weather. Of course, it's dark now. Ooh, I think I saw a little lightning there in the distance. First Alert Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us now with details. Hutch.
Thanks, you too, and good evening, everyone. We did have some active weather this evening in our southern valley as we look down to the south from the Hankinson location at the Dakota Magic Casino. Still some lightning lighting up the skies out there as the storms are skirting the Sisseton area and points to our south tonight. And those clouds in the Sisseton area yielding some heavy rain. Dark skies rumbling through. This photo courtesy of Sierra Schnellbach. That name sounds familiar. Okay, anyways, here's a look at some thunderstorms crossing the border into South Dakota. Sisseton rumbles of thunder near you. That's what we were seeing from our sky cam out there at the Dakota Magic Casino. These are non-severe now. Earlier, we did have some hail-producing storms that crossed through southeast North Dakota. Morris, a storm heading in that general direction and exiting Wheaton. So generally exiting our viewing area as we speak. Cool 60s and the yellow blob up there in north central parts of North Dakota, 70s elsewhere, as it's going to be a quiet and comfortable night of weather. And in fact, as we go through the overnight hours in Fargo-Moorhead, quickly falling through the 60s. Look at that. And all the way down to very close to upper 50s here. We will see some of those in the north. Hour by hour details on the close of the work week forecast. A few more thunderstorms to talk about, and we'll have all of the skinny on that here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
Continuing coverage now tonight out of Beltrami County. The man thought to be missing, vulnerable, and armed, 21-year-old Logan Roy, was found dead this morning, less than a mile from his home. He was reported missing from Maple Ridge Township Sunday. According to the sheriff's office, he experienced a mental health crisis and left home, later sending a series of concerning text messages to family. Family says that a loaded handgun was also missing from their home about the time he disappeared, though no word yet on how exactly he died.
New tonight, this was the scene outside the Red River Women's Clinic this afternoon. After today, just one day remains for abortions to be performed at the current Fargo location. That is, unless they convince a judge to push back the state's impending abortion ban. The state just filed a 20-page response to the clinic's lawsuit. The ban takes effect next Thursday. The clinic plans to move across the Minnesota border into Moorhead, where the procedure remains legal for now, but the Moorhead facility isn't yet ready. The clinic has received more than $950,000 in donations via their GoFundMe page. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, an anti-abortion group is seeing more momentum for their cause. Minnesota Citizens Concerned for Life does a lot of outreach, for instance, talking with people at county fairs about other options to abortion. But one of the primary focuses is on legislation that would make abortion harder and supporting candidates at the state level who are against the procedure.
Whatever avenue you take, whether we're talking about a constitutional amendment or putting more justices on the Minnesota Supreme Court who will overturn Doe v. Gomez if given the chance and allow greater protection for the unborn. All of those avenues require electing pro-life people to office. So that's kind of the bottom line at this point.
Doe v. Gomez, he referred to there, is the 1995 Minnesota Supreme Court ruling that decided the state constitution protects abortion. For that to change, it would take putting justices on the current court that are willing to overturn it or electing more lawmakers who are against abortion.
The state health department in North Dakota has reported North Dakota's first case of monkeypox. They say the infected person is from the eastern side of the state and is isolating and was likely infected from traveling outside the state. The health department is conducting contact tracing. Right now, the state has 65 vaccines for those who were likely exposed.
Now to a story that came in through our whistleblower hotline. A Fargo firefighter is being investigated for potentially physically assaulting a 9-year-old boy.
However, the boy's family says they are outraged more isn't being done by police. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor explains.
9-year-old Noah Walker's parents say he is like any other happy kid.
He loves to skateboard. He used to skateboard all over just the block.
But now they say his demeanor has changed.
But now he's more scared to even take his skateboard out and go ride it right now.
They say everything changed after Noah said their neighbor, who was a Fargo firefighter, physically assaulted him.
He slapped me and then with his open hand.
Noah says this all started when their dog relieved itself on the neighbor's property. He says the neighbor then shouted at him to clean it up.
Honey was jumping on him because she was excited or whatever. He pushed her into me. And that fell.
Noah's family says after the incident, he came home crying and upset.
He had a red mark on the side of his face and on his ear.
They say a doctor told them Noah also suffered a concussion.
It was upsetting as a parent because we couldn't do anything about it. He's 9 years old. He shouldn't feel scared to be in his own backyard. He has a fear of firefighters because he's supposed to be held to a higher standard than what we are.
The family says they contacted the police, but now believe the investigation is at a standstill because the firefighter simply denies ever hitting their son.
I want the investigation to actually take place and not just sort of sweep it under the rug, and that's what it's looking like to us.
Now all they want is for justice to be served.
I would like to see him held accountable for what he did. I don't know what that would look like.
In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Fargo PD says this is still an open, ongoing investigation. We also reached out to the Fargo fire chief, who declined comment. We've also yet to hear back from the firefighter allegedly involved in this incident.
And if you need help with an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. The number's there on your screen, 701-369-3187. Leave your tip and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
Still ahead tonight, see why